I know you know where they are, so tell me, before I do some damage you won't walk away from.
Do it right. Sometimes you do it wrong and you prove them right, but through whose eyes you was wrong when you lose a life. Sometimes you lose it all, it's like you threw the dice and realize that you was off. Listen, do it right. Sometimes you do it wrong and you prove them right, but through whose eyes you was wrong when you lose a life. Sometimes you lose it all, it's like you threw the dice and realize that you was off. Longevity in life, people. That's the goal, stay the course. You are now tuned in to the Evolved Energy Podcast. This is where we push positivity through strength and evolution. I am your host, Twyce. Hope all is well and well is all. Today we're talking about believing in yourself. Because too many people, they quit mentally before they ever give themselves a real chance physically, spiritually, or financially. People look at getting in shape, changing their lives, start a business, building confidence, healing mentally, and immediately think, that's impossible for me. But the truth is, most things aren't impossible. Most people just stop too early. Let's get into it. See, one of the biggest problems that people have, they mentally lose before the process even begins. They'll say things like, I could never get in shape like that. I could never lose all this weight. I could never stay disciplined. I could never start over. I could never build confidence. Meanwhile, they haven't even truly committed yet. All they're doing is creating self-doubt before the process even begins. Meanwhile, they haven't even truly thought about the process. They just look at it and say, oh, I can never do that. And you're quitting before you even start. What type of drive is that? You're not giving yourself a chance. You can't expect results from inconsistency. So most transformations, they happen after the uncomfortable phase, after the doubt, after the frustration, after wanting to quit. But the problem is most people, they never stay around long enough to meet the stronger version of themselves. They'll get in that gym and they'll be like, this is way too hard. I'm never doing that again. Meanwhile, not realizing if they just keep pushing through, it becomes easier and easier. And then you could cope with the hard days. And before you know it, those hard days, they turn into, how can I say, motivation days. Because now you're looking at that day like, oh yeah, I'm going to tackle this workout today. I know it kicked my butt last week, but I'm gonna conquer it this week. But you guys never, the people that aren't fully committed, they never ever reach that point because they quit. Soon as they get a hard workout, a hard exercise, and for them, it's out of their comfort zone, they quit. So you never know what's on the other side because you quit too early. And a lot of people are in that boat. So I'm here to motivate you to stay, push through the hard part. Because after that hard part, ooh, smooth sailing. And then you start building. Now you're living with intention. You're in that gym you're creating a new you. And it feels so good once you just buckle down. And this doesn't only go for fitness in the gym and getting in shape. Say someone wants to shoot for a new position. Sometimes they talk themselves out of it. Oh, I'm not going to be a doctor. That's an extra 6 to 10 years of school. I'm not doing that. But if it's something that someone really wants to do, it's their passion to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, they're going to commit to those extra years of school, push through it, and end up on the other side. And you've accomplished your goal and you feel amazing rather than never pushing through it and ended up working at a factory in which you didn't plan on doing. And like I said, most things aren't impossible. You make them impossible. You create a steep hill to climb. Yeah, it's not easy, but just like getting in shape, we know getting in shape's not impossible. There's fit people all around the world. A lot of people look at the fit people and think, they're different from me. I can never do that. No, they just stayed consistent longer. Every strong person started weak somewhere. Every disciplined person started inconsistent somewhere. And every confident person once doubted themselves as well. Nobody walks into the gym already evolved. That transformation, that happens through repetition. One workout at a time, one rep at a time, one better meal at a time, one disciplined decision at a time. People want overnight change in a society that created overnight attention spans. But real evolution, that takes time. I didn't start out, I was not computer savvy at all. I hated Mr. Foster's class in 6th grade. It was a computer class. I couldn't stand it. But as time went on, I noticed the world was changing, and it took me, I want to say 20 years later, to embrace, learning how to navigate on a computer simply because times changed. So that forced me to learn the computer skills. And now, look, I set up my own podcast. I did it in my house. I did my own research, put this thing all together. And now, every week, I'm on the computer. I'm editing myself. All this I'm doing myself. Of course, big shout out to Tanner and my guy Shoo Shoo. They helped me because they're computer savvy. They gave me some tips, showed me what to buy, but the rest of the research and the work was all me. And I was terrible with computers. So nothing's impossible, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about your mindset and how that creates reality. Your mindset affects everything. If you constantly tell yourself, I can't, I'm too old, I'm too far gone, I'll never change, your body starts believing it too. But when you start moving with belief, effort changes, energy changes, confidence changes. You stop approaching life defeated. The mind gives up way before the body does most of the time. So when you're telling yourself, oh, this is too hard, I'm never going to be able to do it, your mind is saying that. But your body is still primed to go. So don't feed into the negativity. Give yourself positive affirmations. Be your own self motivator with the words you speak. Because if you keep doubting yourself, you're not going to go forward at all. You're going to think about it and say, nope, can't do it. And where's that leave you? Absolutely in the same place you started. So yeah, you're hoping and wishing, and you even want it for yourself to change. You want to get in shape. You want to get that other position at your job, but you keep doubting yourself. So you're not putting yourself in the motion. You're not going forward with this. So stop doing that to yourself. We're our own worst critics, they say. But also, we can be our own motivator as well. One of my favorite sayings, look at the cup half full and not half empty. That means stay positive, don't start off negative. See, one thing disciplined people do differently than the negative people, they see the future version of themselves before it arrives. Like they plan it out. They train for it, they eat for it, they sacrifice for it, they stay patient for it. You have to believe in the person you're becoming before other people can see it physically. Like that has to be embedded in your soul first. Because in the beginning, there's no applause, there's no validation, there's no major results yet. Just faith, discipline, repetition, consistency. That's where warriors are built. What I like to do nowadays, I think about something I'm going to do, I really sit on it, map it out, and then I execute. Whereas the person that's negative with no motivation and no discipline, they look at it and then they get scared of it and they say, oh, that's way too much to swallow. I cannot do that. There's no way I can get in shape like that. There's no way I can go to school for an extra 5 to 6 years to be a lawyer or a doctor. But if you want it bad enough, you will put in that extra time because that's what your goal is. And if you really want it, you'll do whatever, you'll sacrifice whatever. Always remember that. Nothing's impossible. If you want it, you can put the plan together and you just have to execute. We're all out here the same. We have the same 24 hours, same 365 days in a fourth in a year. It's just us. We need to choose what we want to do with the time. No one's Superman. Everyone has to start somewhere. So stop thinking things are too damn impossible and get to the work. Like I said before, I hated squats. I hated doing legs. But now today, legs are my favorite muscle to work. I absolutely love squats. Probably my top exercise between pull-ups and squats and push-ups. My favorite exercise, but I had to prepare myself. I had to look at that gym. I used to look at the squat rack and be like, yeah, one day I have to get involved in that exercise because that's going to complete my body. So when you see these guys, big upper bodies and no legs, they're scared of that leg day. And I've seen it. I've been there. But I refuse to walk around here looking like a light bulb. Small on the bottom, heavy on top. We have to be well proportioned out here, ladies and gentlemen. Stop being scared and go tackle what you're not good at. You know what the word impossible means to most people? It's just usually uncomfortable. Most people don't actually fail because something's impossible. They fail because the process got uncomfortable for them. Results came slowly. The people doubted them. Life became stressful. Discipline became difficult. But discomfort, that's part of the evolution. The gym is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Healing is uncomfortable. Discipline is uncomfortable. But remaining stuck, guess what that is? That's uncomfortable too. So choose your struggle wisely. I'd rather go through the gym, the hard part of the gym, if I'm going to come out on the other side in shape. Because now the gym for me, it's the opposite. It's therapy for me. I need the gym to function regularly. Like if I don't go to the gym, I'm off balance. Something's wrong. I need to go to the gym. And what I say, mandatory 4, most likely 5 days, and sometimes 6 days a week. You can choose what to work on because now the gym is not a burden anymore. It's actually food for the soul. I need the gym. I need to sweat. I need to get those toxins out of my body. Right now, I am shaping my body and building strength at 51 years of age. Like I said before, best shape I've ever been in my life. And I'm going to keep going because I'm still growing. And I don't mean size-wise, but yep, I'm still gaining muscle at 51. But man, my cognitive skills, they're way up. And I know that it comes from me being disciplined, motivated, and eating clean, sweating every day, doing the positive thing for my body and my mind. See, sometimes the hardest part of growth is believing in yourself before the results become visible. It's kind of like having faith. You have faith, but you don't see things happening. But when you stick to that faith, before you know it, things start opening up and happening for you because you had that positive faith the whole time. But what if you didn't have faith? You then have nothing to look forward to because you're not basing it on anything. Stop doubting yourself before the muscle shows up. Stop quitting before the money shows up, before the confidence shows up, before the opportunity shows up. But that belief, that faith, it matters because belief affects consistency as well. And consistency, that changes lives. You know, you don't need perfection. You need commitment. Because once you commit, that's when everything else comes into play. But if you stop before you launch, you don't give yourselves a chance to change. You can't reach your goals without starting the process. All you're doing is talking about the process to yourself, and you're talking yourself out of it, which is terrible. Because like I said before, who's going to do it for you if you're not going to do it? You're the only one. You're the catalyst of this movement. So stop doubting and get to work. Yeah, it's easier said than done because I'm a different individual. I've been in fitness. I've been a go-getter all my life. Yeah, easy. But no, certain aspects of my life I had to grow into. I had to force myself to. I had to force myself to work on these legs. I had to force myself. Well, I won't say force, but I changed to being vegan intentionally. And I never think about going back to eating meat or dairy or being a non-vegan or being non-plant-based. I have to because that's conducive to me, to my growth. That's who I am. And I put this goal in front of me and I said, you know what? I'm going to eat clean for the rest of my life and I'm going to exercise for the rest of my life. And what did I do? I got to it. I didn't wait. I didn't talk about how I missed the pizza and how I missed certain meats and products. No, because that wasn't helping me anymore. So I don't revert back and go back to it simply because of a taste. That's a whole other conversation. But no, I'm never reversing because this lifestyle I'm living, it fits me like lock and key. It's just perfect. And that's why I'm pushing this message out here to let people know, hey, once you change into the best version of yourself, you're not going to look back. You're actually going to keep going to keep adding things to the new you to create even a better version of yourself. So yes, this is the way, ladies and gentlemen. Please, stop procrastinating. Stop with the fear. And just get to it. Nothing's impossible. All right, listen, we got a weekly challenge, my evolutionaries. And this challenge is kind of simple. Stop saying I can't. Replace it with I'm working on it. Replace it with I'm improving. I'm evolving. And I want you to do one thing this week. One thing I want you to do this week is whatever you've been mentally doubting yourself about, one workout, one healthy decision, one step towards your goals, one uncomfortable move forward. Start proving to yourself that you're more capable than your fear tells you. Let me repeat it. Start proving to yourself that you're more capable than your fear tells you are. Forget that fear and start executing and get to the real you. All right? So listen, if your current situation is not your final form of who you want to be in life, your current body is not your final form, your current mindset is not your final form of how you want to think, I want you to stay patient, stay disciplined, and stay evolving. Believe in yourself long enough to meet the stronger version waiting on the other side of consistency. Believe me, you will not regret it. You'll actually give yourself a high five once the mission is complete. So with that being said, fuel your body, focus your mind, evolve your life. And you already know, nothing changes if nothing changes. This is the Evolved Energy Podcast. Peace and power.